Hello everyone, my name is Jelena and I'm Chief HR Officer of Sanoma Finland, its media and learning company. Today we will cover two topics, and in my part I will talk about what does it mean to be a high potential, what does it mean to be a talent, and how will you recognize what to do, how is it measured, and what happens when you're recognized as a talent in an organization. As all of you are just starting your careers or are just about to do so, these are the important elements that I believe are worth knowing before stepping into the workforce. The second part of the presentation that will be delivered by Daniel Rackham will be all about how are young professionals, future professionals, supposed to prepare for entering the workforce. So let's start. First of all, you probably heard many times during your life that talent is something that you are born with, and that in order to achieve success, the only thing you need is to be talented. So is it enough for your success? We will kind of take a look into that topic during this presentation. Or is it also about working hard and developing your skills and achieving your success step by step? So what is it? Is it practice or is it something that you're born with? So my opinion, and also what research shows, is that it's basically everything, everywhere, all at once, or a little bit of both. It's both something that you do acquire throughout life, but it's also some of the traits that you do get on your birth. If we decompose all the elements in your working life that can actually be measured, they could be divided into these couple of categories that form your integrated individual profile. So every person can be measured on their performance, which means that they are measured against some targets that are set. And those targets could be quantitative and qualitative. And this is what really forms an opinion at the end of any working period of how did you do, how did you go during that working period. Another element that is really important is your competencies and experience. Your competencies are all about measuring how are you doing with different skills, with different defined critical capability areas. They could be both soft skills, such as the ability to learn, let's say, or the ability to endure and be resilient, or it could be some of the hard skills, such as any professional and functional qualification that you need to acquire within your work or that you acquired during your education. When it comes to experiences, these are obviously acquired during your working period, and it's something that all the young professionals are just about to do. So you can rely in the beginning of your career more on your performance and your potential, and then experience comes along the way. And then finally, the most difficult part to measure and the most intangible part that is all about the talent that we just started talking about is your potential for growth. And potential for growth is assessed both on your ability, also on your engagement and the possibility to interact with your environment and other people. And then the part that defines your self-assessment and the ability to change based on that self-assessment. So how do you become a high potential? How is that really showing? Well, first of all, some of the important elements of high potential are definitely resilience. So the possibility to really endure, be fine with changing circumstances, be fine with things around you continuously being difficult or being challenging or continuously evolving around you, and you staying on the course and coming back at your targets and trying to achieve them over and over again. Another important element is about learning agility and having a high learning goal orientation. This is really about not considering any of your life situations like done, but they're always basically the next step on your growth path, and from each and every situation, whether that's work or life, there's something to learn, and staying open to that is really what matters and what defines really long-term success or defines you as a high potential. Another thing that we nowadays are calling failing fast is the ability basically to fail but quickly recover from it without having resentment, without getting basically stuck with your failure, but trying to learn to move on and move on as quickly as possible so you can really be back on track and kind of fighting your fight again. And then as we are all performing not in isolation but also in relation to all kinds of stakeholders around us, both the people that we work with, but also the people that are our customers or anyone from our family lives, is the importance of understanding the interpersonal relations, or as we might call it, an empathy. Basically the ability to put yourself into others' shoes and understand what's their point of view, how are they feeling about each and every situation, and make your kind of mind about, let's say, reading the room, walking into a meeting, understanding what are the relations between all the involved parties. So, during your career and your working life, there will be times when you are identified as a talent. But basically what you can, or what you should think about that situation is that it's just the beginning. So everything that matters actually comes after that, after people have realized that you do have resilience, that you do have learning agility, that you are very likely to understand interpersonal relations, people and situations, and that you are not bothered or set back by any steps on the way that didn't go well, any failures. So after all of that is visible to people, that's the beginning where you need to really show. So basically take being recognized as a high potential or a talent as just a catalyst for everything else that needs to come. And everything else is really all about both making an effort, kind of coming back at work day after day, and coming back to any task or any challenge really repeatedly until you finally solve it. And then that eventually does lead to success. One more important element really on this road is to practice constantly the thinking, the basically critical thinking, where you're looking into every situation through both intellectual and emotional lenses. So taking as an example the intellectual lenses is really not only analyzing every situation, but also learning from it, trying to problem solve and to practice problem solving on a daily basis. And what we see happens after doing that repeatedly is that basically you become more and more aware of different elements that come into play, and practicing problem solving leads you to basically manage to do it on the next level as you go and as you're struggling and wrestling with more complex situations every day. So on this journey of development, how does it really happen? So what are some of the steps that are really important for all of us to take in order to get to success? Even back in the day, even Aristotle has already said something about this, which is that we are what we repeatedly do, And excellence, therefore, is not an act but a habit. So basically, talent comes as something that you bring into the situation, but then practice and real hard work is something that will get you to the next level. So you all might have been already familiar with the 10,000 hour rule. You can find it in many research publications, in many books, such as Malcolm Gladwell's book, or in the work of Rasmus Ankersen, which he explained in his book, The Gold Mine Effect. So what does this rule really say? Is that anything that you practice, any act that you practice but with proficiency, meaning any act that you do correctly for at least 10,000 hours, leads to efficiency or leads to being excellent in what you do. And for example, in Rasmus Ankersen's research, he tried to figure out why, let's say, all the long-term runners, all the best marathon runners coming from Ethiopia, and really moved there for a couple of months to observe the local environment and see what's really happening. Why are they really becoming so good at what they do, and they're outplaying and outrunning everyone else in the world? So what is it? Is it really that there's some special gene that they inherit while being born at that place, or is it something else? So what he learned there, for example, is that schools are really far because people are kind of scattered in different small villages around. So in some of the cases, some of the children have to really walk or run up to 20 kilometers per day to get into the school, which, you know, as you practice every day and you run literally every day these long-term distances, you become better and better at it. So it's not really that Ethiopian genes are explaining the success of their marathon runners, but it's more the practice that is embedded so much in the local society that it really becomes a habit that defines it. So once to mention really that practice is very important. What else is important for high performance and success at work? All of us need to really also understand how is what we do connected with everything else around us. So the company strategy, where the company is going, how are things connected? So if you do your work or your task in isolation, not understanding how does it explain the success of the whole organization, you will be most probably less motivated to perform. Also, what is really important to people is to get some recognition, so people around them understand how is this work that they do valuable. Also, what we understand is explaining high-performing individuals' success is the fact that they are really understanding also basically where they stand as they go. And I will talk a little bit about that in the next section. So regular feedback. So as you go and as you perform, if you do understand what's going on and how are you doing, and you're either given that feedback by your organization around you, your colleagues, your peers, your managers, you will manage to improve and understand really what's the pace that you are taking. So if you're not getting any feedback in life, really ask for it. Go proactively and ask people, how are you doing? That will definitely improve where you stand and what you're doing. What also really matters is that the work that you do is not easy, that it's challenging, that it's kind of really getting you to expand your boundaries, that you're constantly getting better and getting further with whatever you're doing. Literally doesn't matter what the field that you're in is. What does matter is that you're understanding where you are, understanding how you're doing, how does everything kind of influence everything around you, that you're rewarded for what you do and that you are also challenged. And after all of that is done, you will really be growing. So we also want to know that whatever we do is making us become better at what we are doing. And that's also one of the reasons probably that all the repetitive work is so difficult to motivate people for. So this is also the reason behind the high attrition in all the jobs that are having a lot of repetition and having the same pace, the same type of task, and the same demand that is set to your role every day. So basically, we all need to know how we are doing, what we are doing, so feedback and practice are important for motivation and achievement. What else is really important? So there was an interesting experiment, and I'm going to play you the video after I explain what the marshmallow experiment is all about, or marshmallow effect. But basically, one interesting fact that is a predictor of success is delay of gratification. So there was an experiment done in the 70s with children who are given an option to eat the marshmallow now or wait a little bit and eat later, but then get two. So they had the option to either kind of immediately gratify themselves or wait a little bit and then get like a double prize. And it was a long-term study, so after a while, they actually managed to track the children that were part of the experiment and get in touch with them and understand like how did they do in life, what jobs did they choose, and were they successful or not successful in what they were doing. So what the outcome was really is basically that the ones who were able to delay gratification were showing significantly higher success in all different kinds of jobs that they chose. So the main message that I would like to leave you with today is that you start your career and your life with a certain talent that you have, but you need to practice and work hard in order to achieve long-term success. So really happy to be here today, and also please reach out if you have any further questions or anything that I can help you with. Thank you so much.